Hey team, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we have 4 great examples of the findIndex array method. Make sure you stick around for example number 4. I'm sure there's a lot to learn. Let us look at the findIndex. Now the findIndex is much like find, but it returns the index value of the first element that's satisfied. Here you can see I have a set of numbers of 15, 20, 25, and 30, and I'm going to say find index where it equals 20. Remember, indexes in arrays, they always begin with 0, so 0, 1, and 1 should be our answer. Now, just so you have that, what would be 15? 15 would be 0. Good job, team. In our second element of findIndex, you can see that my set is 15 to 30. But I'm going to be searching for 17 to find the index. In this example, it will return -1 if it cannot find the result. Remember when we did the find command, can you remember what the output value was? A small test, 3, 2, 1, undefined. Notice on the first one, it returned us -1 because it could not find 17. And on the second example, I could not find 17, so it was undefined. This is a pretty real-world example. Imagine you get data back from a web service and it gives you data that looks like this. Here is an array of objects. I then want to find the index row so I can cherry pick some of the columns. Now imagine that I knew that I'm looking for the company name C8. I want to kind of like print number of employees. How would you do that? Why don't you try to do that before I show you the code? Maybe hit pause, 3, 2, 1. How did I do it? So what I said was var index equals data, that's the name, find index, that's what we're trying to find here. And then company, fat arrow, company name equals C8. And then notice it's returning me the index that it found. And then I said data.index number of employees. And here I'm going to print the whole object for us. Let's execute this. Notice I printed out my 700 and here's my object. In this example, we're going to be using this prototype where I'm going to have a callback function and I'm going to be using this arc. So that's what this example is all about. So here you have input. This is an array of objects. And then down here on line 33, I say precious metals, that's the name of my data, find index, and then here is the name of my callback. So my callback is called getTypeIndex. The goal is I want to know what index. So this would be index of 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want to know that. And then this type of metal, that is this arg. Now this is important. Are you ready? This arg, when we're using that, it ports over to this. So here what I'm saying is I'm going to be looping over all my elements, and this arg I assign to GULD. Now, as you're working on this, I recommend you come in here and say console log and look at this, and you'll come over here and you'll see what the challenge that I had to do to resolve this type issue. But let's execute this and see what happens. Notice that I was able to find it. So I came down here and index was greater or equal to 0. So on my first one, I said precious metal index. So it went out there and got me the index. Then on the second one, I was able just to get the cost per ounce. Let's actually use gold and see what happens there. G-O-L-D. And we will hit the clear and then play. And then notice the cost is $18.14 for gold. And this is how I was able to solve it using this callback method.